When I heard there was no radiation at America's bomb sites in Iran, I rushed to be like, ha! See, it was fucking stupid. But apparently, even if there was uranium down there, you wouldn't expect a Chernobyl-level fallout. Listen, I'm not a nuclear engineer. I only understand bombs on the receiving end, what having had a few hit me in Afghanistan and treating the blast injuries of all my friends and the civilians. I don't know how to build them. I thought that if you hit a bunch of uranium with a bomb, knowing what I do about bombs, being that they take what's here and put it fucking over there, that it would spread radiation. Apparently that's not the case. Apparently the uranium's in a gaseous form? I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and try to explain to you a concept I only just sort of halfway learned. But there are a lot of steps that go into making nuclear material into what it needs to be a bomb. And Iran has a nuclear power plant, so it's hard to figure out like what they're doing with the stuff that they have, which is why we need to rely on our intelligence apparatus to pull together the information to find out what other countries are doing. And the head of ours, Tulsi Gabbard, testified a couple weeks back that they weren't trying to build a nuclear bomb. That while they had some of this material, that's not what they were doing with it. Then Donald Trump called her a liar, and then she walked it back and was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm being taken out of context even though I said this into a microphone. They're 2 weeks away from a nuke, actually. Even though intelligence apparatuses of other countries also agreed with her that that's not what they were doing and they weren't anywhere close, here we are. Still unconstitutional. You know who has the power to declare war? Congress. You know who Donald Trump didn't tell? Half of Congress. He told the Republicans, not the Democrats, nor did they have a time to convene Congress and, talk about whether or not we should send America into yet another war in the Middle East. So maybe the bunker busters did blow something up. I don't know. Iran says that they took whatever materials they had several days ago. There's also satellite footage of a bunch of trucks in the area. I don't believe Iran. I don't believe Donald Trump. I don't believe Pete Hegseth. They say, nah, we moved them. Trump says, oh no, we obliterated their production facilities and everything that they have. And Pete Hegseth says that it had the desired effect. And I don't believe any of them. Nor do I believe Netanyahu, who since I was a child in the 90s has said that Iran was 2 months away from having a nuke. What I do know is Donald Trump tore up the document that would have stopped Iran from building them, basically giving them permission to do it. And it doesn't seem like they did. I don't know what got blown up in those facilities underground, but I do now know that I should not expect radiological fallout from uranium enrichment facilities. So we've all learned that today. And even though that radiation isn't there, this was still fucking stupid. And still 100% the fault of the guy who tore up the fucking deal that would have kept us from getting here, promised that there'd be no new fucking wars, couldn't even wait 6 months before he broke another promise. Anyway, I was wrong, but not really. Because it turns out you don't actually need to know that much about nuclear proliferation to know that war in the Middle East, based on the exact same homework that George Bush submitted, except with one letter changed, isn't going to help the American people. You don't need to know that uranium comes in a gas to know what a lie looks like.